What's up, guys? It's Arcadium. Welcome to the Reviews on Tap podcast. We still don't have a name, so we call it the Reviews on Tap podcast.
We're 50 actually.
Yeah, this is the first episode. Obviously, we're gonna still drop reviews. And yeah, we just want to say thank you to the 100 people that watch Reviews on Tab. Yeah. We appreciate all of you. Shout out. All right, cool. So today we're going to be talking about a bit of a situation that happened last week, right?
Yeah.
With Matwetwe.
Yes.
Got a bit of a backlash because we had the same conversation that keeps happening every time a local movie drops, basically. The conversation about we didn't know about it. Yeah. Market your movies. Twitter isn't enough. Celebrity isn't enough. Put some money into your marketing and you'll watch your movies. That was like the whole thing. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I remember.
Cool.
And then and last minute things when the movie's out and it's this one did great, so yay. But like there's always that thing about how do you guys really make an effort as you do? And we're always just like, Mona, like, why are you bringing this up? You're ruining the whole thing. Some people actually.
But where is the issue? Is the issue the fact that local movies don't get a marketing budget, or they're not using the marketing budget properly? Because that's what we don't know.
So, based on my observation, shameless plug. One of the first few videos I ever released on my channel. Go check out my channel, by the way. Now we're live. One of the first few videos I ever released on my channel was me mentioning the problems with the South African film industry. Okay. At that point, I had no fucking idea what the fuck I was talking about. So it was mostly just a rant, but that is basically just questions
from the outside. Type of thing.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm trying to step into this industry. I don't know what's going on, but this is what I've observed. Coming back to that now, I've seen and I've experienced a lot of things, and one thing I've noticed is that it's everybody's fault.
Sure.
It is the filmmaker's fault, and it is also the audience's fault. Okay. But everybody wants it to only be one person's fault. That's what I've noticed.
How is it the audience's fault?
Yeah. It's the audience's fault. Okay, for example, let's start with the filmmakers. Yes, South African movies are under marketed for many reasons. But okay, that's not the audience problem. Yeah. Sure. Money, etc., all that shit. We'll actually probably get into the story of how Matwetwe was funded, and you realize it's okay, shit, yeah, rough, yeah. But the biggest, at the end of the day, the movie is still under marketed. Yeah. That still stands. So that is the filmmaker's problem or their fault. That I'm going to put it on them. But when it comes to what I did observe is there is a very negative, not just perception, but behavior in general towards South African film in general. That people don't fuck with South African film in general. I don't know why. I think for some people, it's just cool to now just bash South African cinema.
Do you know what I think it is? I think if I walk into a cinema and there's Infinity War poster next to a Matwetwe poster, I can't help but compare the two when it comes to standard, even subconsciously. Just the standard of it gets compared. And then I think people obviously have we live in a time where everyone has a voice, so people talk a lot of shit. Yeah. But I think that's what they put it all on the same plane type thing. Yeah,
but here's what happened, and I did not like what's this Reasons tweet for obvious reasons. No pun intended.
What was the tweet actually?
The tweet, he was saying, this is how he phrased it. He said, how can we get Matwetwe to perform, paraphrasing, the same way Black Panther.
As in to be supported the same way Black Panther was supported.
Can you show this? Basically, just saying, can we show the same support we showed for Black Panther? Yeah, I'm like, no, let's not put it that way. Yeah. I get what you're saying, but can you maybe talk about Matwetwe? Just say, hey guys, this is a dope movie that's out that I got to see. How can we make sure this movie stays long in circuit so that we can get to see more stuff like this? Just
which is why I keep saying that I think the public doesn't understand the power of marketing, because Black Panther was marketed. Like Americans market the only reason we watch American movies is because they're being marketed. Literally, there's no other reason. It's not because we think they're better. It's simply because they market it and we watch it because we know it exists. Black Panther was marketed. Obviously, there was hype because it's a fully black Marvel blockbuster. That's fine. Sure. But the bottom line is that it was marketed. So I think Reason's concern, it comes from a place of like not understanding the fact that people just watch movies when they're just well marketed and when they are being catered for. When we're catering movies to that specific market, we need to ask ourselves, when people drop movies like Matwetwe, did they cater to the to that specific? Do they understand the demographic that they want watching that movie, and do they cater to it? That's the question we need to
so then
figure out.
My problem with the tweet, he could have found a better way to phrase it. And then my biggest problem is that it invites people who are never going to see the movie in the first place to now have their own strong opinions as if, stop blackmail. Let's be honest, most people who are going crazy on Twitter about thingy that tweet and movies being under marketed, most people are coming out, this movie was only marketed the day before or the week before. No, it was not. It was not. It's been marketed for a very long time. I will not lie. They could have done a way better job at marketing.
The trailer came out like a year before, right?
Yeah. But they did what they could with what they had. So that's what I hated about their tweet, is the fact that it sort of like dilutes the entire
whole
argument
process, the whole work.
It
ruins everything.
Exactly, because now we're not talking about the actual problem. Okay, what's the problem? There's no money. Okay, guys, you need to find a way to make movies and I don't know, some way, somehow get money to market them better to us. Let's talk about that. We also need to support if we want to, but because we want to, not because we feel like we have a duty to do so. So which means I'm fine with that. Me being me, I don't mind going to watch a movie simply because it's South African, but I understand most people want to watch a movie because it's a movie. I watch a movie because it's a movie. That's what I do.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, but either way, I'm gonna watch a movie. Whether it sucks, I'm gonna find out after the fact. You understand? So I hated that. I didn't like that tweet because it invites people to have opinions and that are not going to get anywhere.
So basically, it invites an agenda. So good to like umuntu can just come and be performative and just be like, "Futhi kahle kahle, your movies aren't really that good. So why are you blackmailing?" And
that's what
we
happened.
know that this one is actually the exception. But not called.
And that's what happened. A lot of people coming out like, it's not even that good. It went from we're not watching it because you're blackmailing us to actually it's not even that good, and it just became like a whole snowball effect of like negative.
Which is a funny thing because people who actually went to see before that before that tweet, people who had gotten to see the movie,
like, hey.
Everybody, and I'm talking about
even us, dude.
Even us, obviously,
like, hey,
without a doubt. But there's certain people. That's what I realized. It was okay. Maybe I wasn't just excited. There were certain people I never seen on Twitter. I guess it's the less popular people who are like, "Yo, we just saw this movie and we loved it." And a lot of people had recommended the movie to. There was some guy yesterday actually in one group I'm in who actually came back and was like, "Okay, I actually enjoy this movie. Wow." And he was amazed. And then I was like, "But what did you think?" I told you. And he was like, "No, you know how South African films are." And I'm like, "Yeah, actually it's different." But the movie itself, specifically Matwetwe, it's great.
And it's got new actors, so
it literally opened up the industry.
It answers a lot of questions that we're always asking, but people still seem like unsatisfied by what's going on. Like when it's kind of like catering to. It's not that I don't want to say typical, but it's not the typical South African movie. What I mean by that, it's not like tackling issues
the past, our history,
HIV. It's just a fun movie about
30 years of democracy.
I mean, it's a guy from the hood who's studying what? Botany at Wits, and at the same time is selling weed. Reminds me of like Dope. Almost like an essay hood version of Dope in a sense. And it's a comedy, right? It's not like a drama.
It's a comedy.
So for me, I'm like, I don't understand what the issue is, because we cry for this stuff, and then when it's given to us, we're like, oh no, not like that. Or you know what I mean?
And you constantly complain about things being repeated in cinema. But then here's something new, and then all of a sudden, like, man.
It's got an actor who has like albinism. And he's a new guy. And it's like about a guy who's actually like it plays on a lot of things that we're really interested in. It's a guy who's a student, so he's like studying and then he's selling weed. I'm assuming he has done the finances. What is it? Is there a financial thing?
The weed supports it. So
but I'm just saying it's all a different take on South African cinema. So I'm trying to figure out what the issue is. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to know. What's the problem?
To be quite honest, there's no issue with it. There's honestly no issue with it because
people find it.
People
always find an issue.
It's okay to find the issue in a film, but I can see when something is like almost like you're on a mission to make sure that this movie has a problem. It's one thing to critique a movie to say, because when I critique a movie, I'll say, I see what you are trying to do, and I like it, and because of that, I will enjoy it as a consumer. But you could have just removed that or that, or I don't know. That guy was kind of whack.
Yeah.
But overall, I can see what you were doing and I like it, and I would like more of it. It's a
Sure.
good start, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I judge essay film, like the starting point of it, because everything we're doing is a starting, is a good start. Like Matwetwe, you know, it's a good start to this type of film that you're trying to make, and I think Kagiso should kind of focus on that. He's a comedian after all, so but people are just like almost like it's like my favorite like movie critic quote or whatever. It's like if you're trying to compare, let's say, the King's Speech to Project X. Obviously, Project X is going to be shit. But then if you're going to compare it with the same type of mentality, you know,
exactly.
Like judge a film's purpose first, you know, as a foundation point. But if you're going to judge every film the same way, there are going to be films that are good that you're going to find shit. And I think that's what people are doing really with Matwetwe. And that's what I don't really agree with. But
and another thing is, it's something I've been saying for the longest on when I'm doing reviews is, because I've watched a lot of South African films in the past year or so. And the funny thing is that in terms of standard, production value and everything, you can now... We're currently in an age where you can watch a movie and you can literally compare it to, in terms of production value and overall standard, compare it to an international film. And I usually say this film did not feel like a South African film in a good way, in the sense that I don't have to lower my standards. I don't have to make excuses for this movie. I don't have to watch it with a grain of salt. I can just say this movie is dope. If I wanted to put it in my list of movies that came out this year, I could. It's literally on that level. And there are a lot of movies that have come out in South Africa literally in 2018 alone that were like that. I think at least 4 or 5 movies that were on that level. But then unfortunately, people don't never get to the opportunity to see those movies because of reasons we're discussing right now, under marketed, but also the overall attitude people already have towards South African cinema. And I said with Matwetwe on the other hand, it felt like a South African film, but once again, in every good sense of the word. It's one of the most authentic films I've ever watched in a long while. The stereotypes of struggle, you don't get that, but it just has a feel about it. Wow, this is us. This is us. Yeah, this is really us. Yeah, boy. So I think that's why I was saying even at the beginning that we have I blame filmmakers, I blame audience equally. Filmmakers can do a better job in terms of marketing specifically, or PR companies, or whoever's in charge of the marketing, whether it's the distribution companies, they could always do a better job at that. And there's always many reasons as to why they haven't. Some it's attitude. Some what is it? It's always almost funding related. So there's that. So we still have a long way to go in terms of that. But even Natige, as the audience, let's just have a better attitude.
Do these guys know that we're not expensive though? They can just give us the jobs and we will do the marketing for them. We will make noise. We will make noise for days. Every single day.